Welcome back to part 2 of the system overview. Don't mind the iBook G3 sitting over there. It's just sitting. I gotta find a new image of OS 9 for it. But I'm not focusing on that right now. What I'm focusing on is over here. So you see in the middle there is the Acer Veriton L460 with 2 Acer screens on it. That runs Windows 10 x64 Professional. You'll see I got another Astra desk phone. The base for the Panasonic upstairs. I got a BITeC cordless. Over there I've got an iPad 3rd generation and iPad mini 1st generation, both which cannot get iOS 10 regretfully when it comes out. However, my other iPhone 6 Plus can get iOS 10. So that'd be nice to have at least one machine down here that can get it. Over here I've got a Toshiba satellite. I think it's an A55 S106. No. Yeah, A55 S106. And previously in all the other videos, this thing had 512 megabytes of RAM, and it was running XP, and it was pretty terrible about it. But now I upgraded it to 1 gigabyte of RAM. It runs a little better. Let's see if we can. That's what I wanted the upstairs Dell to do, but the policy is not applying. However, we will. I was able to log on and run group policy updater, so we'll see when I go back upstairs if that works. Let's see what we have here. That's way too loud, I'm guessing. What error was that, I wonder? It might come up here. Now I've got VGA out and USB out because I've got this keyboard, mouse, and monitor. And this monitor functions as an extended desktop, not just for the Toshiba, but also for the iBook G4. Which I know some of you may say that the iBook G4 can't do extended desktop. Well, there's some guy out there that has a software patch that you can run, and it will allow it to do an extended desktop. You see I've got a mini VGA to VGA, and I plug the other USB in here and the sound in there. Sound and microphone. I have no microphone hooked up, so that microphone here is just null. But speakers there. Oh, did you see that? Look, Echo Dot. Alexa, how are you today? Or she's going to be temperamental too. Alexa, how are you today?
I'm great. I hope you are too.
See, my 2011 MacBook Pro is sitting here because the video card went out on my 2007 iMac. So this thing's not much better because there's no battery in it. I didn't really lose anything as I was going from the iMac to this, but there's also no hard drive. So what I have is a 750 gig external hard drive right there, which the sucky thing is powered off of USB 2.0. So this machine is incredibly slow. And I'm looking at buying a solid state hard drive for this thing. And we'll go from there. It's got El Capitan running on it. I shouldn't probably have even woken it up because it gets so angry. Yeah. Oh, what the heck. I'll try and unlock it anyway. Look at that. That's just ugly. Look at the video quality there on the FaceTime camera. Yeah, see, this is all because of the hard drive that it runs like that. So, you know, I'd rather just wait to upgrade it before I get anything done. Now I have iMac G5. I'm not sure the year. People tell me it's a 2005, but I think it may be older. It's got 2 gigs of RAM in it. It came with 1. I upgraded it to 2. And of course my Acer, which has Windows 10 on it. And my iBook G4. Let's see, if we go here, I think the command for it is Control-Alt-2. Oh, now you got to do it on the external keyboard. So it runs through the KVM and detects that it was switched. I'm not sure if that's the right command or not. Oh, that's probably why it's not working. The KVM utility is not running. I'll fix that later. For right now, I've got to hit the button manually. I don't think after I reimaged that Toshiba, I reinstalled the KVM software, so that may be why it's not working. I think that probably is why it's not working. Now you see the screen is switched over to my iBook. So, and yes, I programmed the iBook so that the extended desktop is to the left, and I programmed the Toshiba so the extended desktop is to the right. So everything works the way it's supposed to, which is nice. And you'll see the keyboard and mouse down here now work the iBook. There we go. I'm going to probably, let's see, I'm going to cancel this over here. And I'm going to log off of this thing right here because of the fact that my domain controller gets really pissy if I have a bunch of machines logged on under the same username. You won't hear any sound, but there's the group policy, the log off script. You won't hear any sound because it's mapped to here. And when I got this thing, it had 768 megabytes of RAM. And that is functional because of the built-in 512 megs and a 256 megabyte card. Something that I recently found out is this iBook and that Toshiba take the same RAM. So when I took the 512 card out of here and left it with no RAM, I bought two 512 cards, giving us a gigabyte, and the third 512 card that came out of here originally, I put in here. So this also has a gigabyte of RAM now, so it's a little faster. And let's do Shift Command Q and log out. And there's that. Now the only problem is the hotkey switch does not work unless the machine is logged in on either Mac or Windows. So pretty much the same experience here, although the only difference is this is a G5, so I do have a copy of Adobe CS4 Master Collection. I like that. My activation code has expired for Adobe Master Collection CS3, and they don't offer support anymore at Adobe because we're on CC, or I like to call it CS7. So I can't get Adobe on there, but I make up for it because of the LTS running in the cloud, which I think we're gonna have to enter a password here to get into the file server. Yes, we are. Yep, lts.bitecsystems.priv. There we go. You can't do TS1 or TS2 because the RDP client on Mac does not support anything above Windows XP for remote desktop, unlike Windows 2000, which you can do the new machines on. It's interesting how my sound didn't play, but now you'll see the desktop's populated and you have your Master Collection CS6 as well as Office 2007. One thing I forgot to mention is my Toshiba laptop actually has Office 2010 on it, which is the last supported version of Office for Windows XP. I know you're going to ask me why I still run XP, and that's because this machine, I tried putting 8.1 on it, and I shouldn't have probably even done that because this video card, the drivers are only compatible for XP. Now you guys are probably going to tell me, use driver compatibility. I tried it. The only thing it will do is it will do a clone display, which I don't want. I want extended. And when I try to install the drivers that Toshiba made for this laptop, they error out on anything higher than XP. But they work on XP in 2000. So XP it is, which is fine for me. That's all I really wanted on it. So now, interestingly enough, the sound card works out of box with Windows 7, because I have run 7 on here before, and also what else works? I think the Wi-Fi works out of box with Windows 7, but the Ethernet needs a driver. No, Ethernet works out of box too. It needs drivers for XP, that's why. However, XP is the driver that it was made for. So now I've got this on here. And of course it's just sitting here stuck like usual, so I think you do Control Alt End. Yes, you do. I'm just going to tell it to log off. Notice it says I'm logged on. Clear that up a little bit there. Walter G. Broadnax III is logged on as BITeC system / Broadnax W. Yep. That's going to take its sweet time, so let's move over here. Windows 10 works just like you'd probably expect it to work. My policy banner message. Clear up, damn it. There you go. This really needs to be defragmented. I haven't used it in a while. Yep. Back there, my Dell Optiplex GX280, which runs Server 2003, and that's my domain controller. Above it is what brand is it? I think it's Western Digital. I'm not sure. Yep, Western Digital. I don't know how big it is either, but that's just a hard drive for extra storage space for the Dell. Above that is the MacBook Pro 750 gig hard drive. Above that's another 8-port Ethernet switch. And above that is a parallel dial-up modem, which I don't use because I can't find the right driver for it. What in the hell are my icons doing over there? Okay. See if I can fix that. Oh, here go our log off scripts there. Stop time server, add domain controller as reliable time source, start time server. And then it finishes logging off and getting a notification on my Mac saying the terminal server ended the connection, which is okay. Do you want to reconnect? No, I don't. So let's go on the keyboard, Shift Command Q, and we'll log out. And I have no clue why they snapped over here to the side of the screen. This is not an Apple computer, so the icon should be on the left. If it's Apple, it should be on the right. But there it is. There's that. And I'm probably going to run defraggler or Puriform defraggler so that way I can defrag the hard drive, because this one seems to always get fragmented. These Acer boxes are designed for Windows Vista, but I put 7 on them, and then I put 8.1 on them, then I got the free 10 upgrade, which, reminder, the free 10 upgrade is no longer, it will no longer be available after July 29th, so that will mark the year point. Now, if you look over here, you have the Fujitsu Lifebook T900, and this runs Windows 8.1, 64-bit. This probably really needs defragged as well if it's just sitting here like this. Yeah, it does, but I'll do it after the video. But see, this also has 8.1 64-bit. It's offering me to get 10, but I'm not getting it on this machine for one reason, and that is because this is my phone server. This runs 3CX server version 14, and I don't need 10 on a phone server. There's no point in it. None at all, really. So I leave it at 8.1, and I always ignore it when it asks about 10. Up here on the wall, you see I've got a Linksys WRT54GC. So it is a wireless router, but the antenna is not functional because it's very weak. All it does is provide DHCP. And I know we have Cincinnati Bellfly Optics, so they have their own routers providing their own DHCP, but I wanted an internal network that's not affected by anything else, so I provide my own DHCP here. And like I said, the wireless is disabled, and what better to project to the upstairs Airport Express than a Airport Extreme, which this has a really awesome Wi-Fi signal. It throws it all the way upstairs, and it throws it, I can get it outside my house too from here, which is really nice. And this Ethernet cable is just sitting right here just for diagnostic purposes, but you see this black one here coming in, goes up and over the door frame, and it actually plugs into the Linksys box, which is nice. And of course the power goes down behind there. You see I've got the other plug on the Linksys going over to the switch over there. I've got another back feed coming over to this little 5-port switch here. And then There's yet another back feed coming over to this 5-port switch here. And you see I've got some FXS adapters. There's two. The one farthest to the back powers line 1 here and the cordless phone. And that's basement desk 1, so also this IP phone is tied to that same line. And the one closest to us is upstairs desk 1, which powers, of course, line 2 here, which brings the cordless phone. And it also powers this base down here, which is the other Motorola handset. I have that one silenced, but it rings upstairs. And I don't know if you guys remember a long time ago, but before I actually had an IPPBX system, I had a very basic system that used the stick box, which basically takes a single phone line. At the time it was my cell phone, and it pulls it in and it splits it into like 3 virtual extensions. And I used it. I had line 1 and line 2, and then 3 went to a different phone. But see, I don't use that anymore. The stick is now hooked directly to basement desk 1, so that way my fax machine and this little gadget, which I'm sure you've seen on Facebook on my page, the Wi-Flyer, can use it. And what's really nice about that is that when basement desk 1 rings, let me give a demonstration. Oh, we are on Do Not Disturb on basement desk 1. Let me fix that.
Do not disturb off.
Goodbye. All right, let's go on line 4. Let's go 3201 pound. There you go. Basement desk 4. See, it's coming in as an incoming call there. It's coming there. Now, you notice the fax machine didn't light up at all, and you wouldn't be able to tell if the modem was ringing at all. It doesn't have a ringer built into it. But what happens is, if you notice, I pick up line 1. I'll pick it up in a second, but watch the stick box. One blink means that port 1 is in use. And over here, I'll just send a, let me see, I'll send a sample fax here. I'm going to send it to myself. Now the interesting thing is, because this does not have to receive faxes over the phone line, it receives through the fax server, part of 3CX. So all I really have to do is send this, well, not this document, that's private. Is there anything in the machine here? Yeah, I'll just send that little pamphlet from Tuesday morning. So I can either dial out 9, actually, you know what, I'd use 8, because 8 sends it from the fax line, dial prefix 8. So I'd do 8151349225154, which is the fax line. It'll ring in there. Then when that machine receives it, what happens is it sends it as an email to the HPE print address, which then it will immediately print it. So, or I could just dial the fax extension locally, which will be 8888 pound. And let's just send a black fax there from the scanner glass. Now notice over here on the fax machine, on the stick, it's flashing twice because the fax machine's in use. See that? And you'll notice that basement desk 1, the cover light, which means that the line's in use. But I have it all hidden because, you know, the fax switch, the stick, it prevents the other devices from knowing the phone's off the hook. All you have is nothing when you pick up the phone. And I set it up that way so that it matches this, and it doesn't show the lines in use unless you go into the settings and see that the PBX is saying the line's in use, because it won't light up line 1. Now if I were to call, it skips line 1 because obviously the PBX is in use, and it comes right to line 2. You notice this didn't ring at all. And of course, the in-use light is not flashing here either. It's taking an abnormally long time to fax. 1 page. I said black and white, so it should be pretty quick. It'll probably finish soon. Now, one thing I have set up here is this machine, that machine, that machine, and that machine. They all have Ethernet and Wi-Fi. The Ethernet part is hooked up to the network here. There we go. I'll get back to the other topic in a second, but you'll notice now that the light is just steady on because there's nothing in use. And if you pick up line 1, there's a dial tone again. So like I was saying, and there it comes printing back out. It's a fax back tester. This machine, that machine, and that machine. The Ethernet is connected to the switch or whatever switch it's hooked up to, but the Wi-Fi is connected to the Wi-Flyer right here. What I like about the Wi-Flyer is it's a very good tool for traveling. Ooh, see what that error was. And we're out of yellow ink. I've got more ink down there, but I'll replace it later. And it will not print the rest of the fax until I replace the ink. So I like writing my ink all the way down to empty before I replace it, so I don't waste any because it's so damn expensive. What I was saying is that the Wi-Flyer here, it is like your perfect travel companion for like older days. So basically it plugs into the phone line, and it has a Wi-Fi router in it. So it's a Wi-Fi enabled dial-up router, I'm going to call it. Not just a modem, because it's got a modem and a router in it. And because I've got the Wi-Fi connected to the Acer, this iMac G5, the Toshiba, and the iBook G4, all I really have to do is log in. And it's on a different subnet as well, so that's really nice. So all I've really got to do is log in here. And go to Safari, or on there I could use Edge or Firefox. I could use Firefox here as well. I could use Firefox here, I could use Safari or Firefox there. I hate Internet Explorer, but Edge is okay. I love how they advertise all this new stuff on Safari on such an old machine. It's so funny to actually see a picture of an iPad Pro or an Apple Watch on a device that was in existence before any of that stuff even happened. Now you notice this is all going through Ethernet right now, but we'll go 192.168.7.77. And that 7.77 is the address of that thing on its own Wi-Fi. So we'll go there, and it says, hey, this address is available on Wi-Fi, not on Ethernet, so it'll switch over to Wi-Fi. And for some reason, this works a lot better in Firefox than it does in Internet Explorer or a Safari. It'll be sitting here for a minute before it realizes that. There it goes. That's going over the Wi-Fi. Choose login page, and I created a speed dial in 3CX that's 8123. Is a virtual extension, and what it does is it dials a dial-up access number based out of Detroit, Michigan. That's the closest free one I could find. So basically, we'll hit dial now, and watch, it blinks 3 times now. You'll notice that also the line's off the hook. This often acts a fool, but you know, hopefully it'll work this time for me. You got a connection manager here. Sometimes it fails, sometimes it works. It looks like it worked that time. Yep, signing on. And because the always on wireless homepage is now down because no one really uses dial-up anymore, it redirects to some buggy page that I most likely just quit Safari for right after it finishes connecting. Because I don't want to get a virus on here, even though it's a Mac, and I know it probably couldn't even understand the virus. So here's the Connect OK. Let's see, 2880. Let's see if we can focus that 4 switches there. There we go. Now let's try to redirect me to alwaysonwireless.com. That website's down. So instead of having it redirect to some funky place, I'm just going to Command Q Safari, and the browser and the internet connection will stay active as long as there's not too much skipping the line. Now you'll notice that if I were to go on 4 and dial 3201, it again forwards to line 2 because line 1 is theoretically busy. And of course there is no phone line, because you'll see the stick is flashing 3 times, and you'll see the light with the telephone on it is on. Now instead of opening up Safari and disconnecting it, all I really have to do is short out the pins that have the button on it for disconnect or connect. And now we are disconnected from the dial-up internet. And you notice if I go back on here, there's a dial tone. So that is pretty much all the computers down here. Now let's get over to the entertainment center, and I will start that. I'll do that in a different video, so I'll catch you back in a few seconds.